Okay, well, I guess we weren't recording. So I thought we were recording and we weren't. So I must have hit a button and stopped it. So I went and blabbed to thin air for quite a while there. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to get at here with all these different things that are happening, if you think about prophecy is pattern. Prophecy does not necessarily have to be just a fulfillment, one fulfillment that happens in the future. Abraham was going to sacrifice Isaac. It was a form of foreshadowing of what was going to happen, the same hill, with Yeshua. There was a ram with caught with his head in the thorns. Yeshua had a crown of thorns. Moses was the deliverer for Egypt. For the Israelites or the Hebrews or the Hebrew slaves. He was going to be killed because Pharaoh was trying to kill the young children. Pharaoh ended up raising Moses. Jesus was born. King Herod tried to kill the children again. There's a pattern here. A deliverer, another deliverer. The child is going to rule with a rod of iron. We're in Christ. He's King of kings, Lord of lords. Who are the kings and the lords down here? If he's the top guy. We're going to rule with Christ 1,000 years. Or at least the martyrs are, I think. So, who is this child? Is it Moses? Is it Yeshua? Is it the church? Who's the woman? Is that Israel? The 12 stars? Those are the 12 tribes of Israel? The 12 apostles? Or disciples? It's pattern. So you can put a lot of meanings into this riddle. And there will be signs in the heavens in Genesis 1:14. The line has gone forth throughout the earth. What was that, Psalms 19? I don't remember now. You have to go back into the videos and see. So all of this plays together. The 7 heads, the 7 empires, the Egyptians, the Syrians, Babylonians, Medes and Persians, Greeks, Romans, the Ottoman Empire, which is the one that's got a deadly head wound that recovers. If the Ottoman Empire comes back, and Turkey is really trying to do that, and they want to reestablish the caliphate in Istanbul, Turkey, they're building a brand new mosque. Why not do it then, if they can do it? Do you get what I'm saying? If they establish a new caliph in Istanbul, Turkey, then they're going to be in charge of all the Muslim countries. The new caliphate there, it's the new Messiah. This guy's going to make himself God. Their new Messiah is our Antichrist. They like to chop heads off. Okay? I don't know if Istanbul, Turkey, I'm not saying they're all like that yet there, but once you start heading down that road, it's a slippery slope. And of course we got radical Islam, where we got people getting their heads chopped off all the time. And so that's the red dragon. Red dragon is Satan. He cast a third of the stars to the earth. So when you read this, everything may not be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because things interlace. It's a pattern. It's foreshadowings. It's a riddle. So if it doesn't perfectly fit the way you think it has to fit, it may be because, why wasn't Isaac killed? He didn't have to actually kill Isaac. Abraham didn't have to actually kill Isaac, but the meaning was there. So that that Yeshua would be killed later in that same location, probably different in height, as I already showed you. So there's meanings in these things. Okay. So, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven. Okay, wonder is translated as the word sign. A woman clothed with the sun. Okay, we're seeing the sun in the pattern of this of Virgo, the Virgin. Remember, and the moon under her feet. We're going to get the moon under her feet. That's the beginning of Yom Teruah, or the end of Yom Teruah. It will be the crescent moon will be very well visible at that point. And upon her head a crown of 12 stars. That's Leo. tribe of Judah. Who's the crown of Israel? Who's the king of Israel? King of the Jews. The crown is the king of the woman. Okay? The crown of 12 stars. 9 stars are in Leo. 3 more planets come in and make 12. I'm sure there's even a meaning to that. And she being with child cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. Okay? We're going through birth pains. And, the end hasn't come yet, but we've got earthquakes, pestilences, and all that. That's birth pains, Matthew 24. So, but that's not the end yet. Okay? And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, that's Satan, and having 7 heads, those are the different empires, 10 horns. Those are the pan-Arab countries that are going to have to. I'm making assumptions here. I don't know for sure, but my theory is those are the 10 Arab. Those are going to be 10 Arab countries or Muslim countries. Are going to pay allegiance to this new caliphate that could be set up in Istanbul, Turkey, and the new caliph is going to be there and run everything. And so he's going to be like the Pope for all these different countries. Like in Catholicism, many countries have Catholic people that follow the Pope. It gives the Pope extraordinary power throughout many nations. And now the Pope is the Roman part, iron, the Caliph, Islam, the clay, and they're coming together and they're doing what's called Chrislam. They don't really mingle together, but they do. But they don't. They do, but they don't. So as long as we can get along, as long as Islam can get along, you got 2 power structures trying to use each other. So they get along, but they don't get along, and they're not going to get along for long. And you can get to the judgment of the great whore. Whole nother story where she rides the beast and the 10 horns go against her. Was that Revelation 18 or something? I don't know. I'll have to go back and look it up. Istanbul, Turkey is a city on 7 hills, just like Rome is. Istanbul, Turkey was a Constantinople, and it was under Constantine, and it was longer. It was the capital of Rome for a longer period than Rome itself was the capital of Rome during the Byzantine Empire. It was also the capital of the Ottoman Empire for a long while. So it's a very unique city, and for this alignment to be happening on this city at solar noon when they're praying, and during the speed of the alignment, that's very unique. It gets better. Okay. So as you can see, there's a lot going on in here. I'm hoping I'm covering it all. I probably haven't. We know that stars are angels. Oh, that's what I was going to show you. I didn't show you that to you, did I? Or did I? I don't remember. I don't know where the video cut off, so I'm going to show it to you again. It's Revelation chapter 1. The mystery of the 7 stars which thou sawest in my right hand, and the 7 golden candlesticks. The 7 stars are the angels, and the 7 churches of the 7 churches, and the 7 candlesticks which thou sawest are the 7 churches. So stars are angels. So when we go to Revelation 12, the dragon cast out a third of the stars. Now we might also get a bunch of meteorites coming in at this time. But he cast out a third of the stars. Remember we had Michael stand up and fights against the dragon here? And then they cry out salvation. Now has come salvation. Go to Daniel 12. Michael is fighting, or stands up, and many of the dust of the earth come up. Do you see how this all comes together? And just prior to that, at that time, the king of the north had set up his tabernacle between the seas and the glorious holy mountain. You got to go back and see the other videos if you haven't seen them. I know they're really boring, but you got to watch them, okay? And you had the king of the north and the king of the south in Daniel 11. That's Egypt, and the Ptolemaic Empire, and the Seleucid, I can't say these words, Seleucid Empire, Turkey, and Persia, which is, even though it's to the east, they had to go up the Euphrates River, come down to the north. So those 2 empires fought and fought and fought back and forth for 6 Syrian wars. And we haven't gotten to the 7th yet, and we're about to get there. So what's going to happen in Daniel 11 at the time of the end? The king of the south is going to push at the king of the north, so Egypt's going to push against Turkey. Turkey's going to come down like a whirlwind. They're probably going to get permission from Russia because they're buddying up with Russia right now. They didn't get along with Russia before. They shot down one of their fighter jets. But then, once they've done a whole bunch of disaster, made a mess in Egypt, Russia, this is my theory, Russia will say enough's enough and get upset, and they'll hear bad tidings out of the north and out of the east, probably China or India or something, and he hears bad tidings and he destroys even worse. So he goes absolutely nuts. I don't know what that really means. That's a theory. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else and I forgot. Pray. Oh, Gog and Magog. If you look at Gog and Magog, that's Asia Minor. It's not Russia. You need somebody north of the King of the North to get bad tidings out of the north for the King of the North. So Russia is north of the King of the North. If you look at any Bible dictionary, you'll find out Gog and Magog is really basically Asia Minor. Okay, so now I told you it got better. Alright, so the Muslims are praying at solar noon when this alignment happens at solar noon, which takes thousands of years. Okay, so we got 22 miles per second going by on the red line here, and then we got 783 miles an hour going at this point on this line, and they both come together here, pretty much, ka-chink, okay? And so it's a unique, this alignment with Jupiter and all the sun, this close to the sun's out of alignment here. It should be over here, but this is my diagram. But it's also not the 23rd quite yet, that's the 9th. But anyways, okay, you got two unique, very fast things coming together, and they're making a intersection on Istanbul, Turkey. They could be making an intersection on different places of the earth, but it's very interesting that they make an intersection on the capital of the two empires of iron mixed with clay in the statue of King Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, I hope you guys are getting this. Alright, and they pray at exactly solar noon. It has to be the zenith point, and solar noon is very important to Muslims for this prayer. It can't be just regular noon like you and I think of, just 12 o'clock. It has to be solar noon, and that can be off by 20 minutes or so, off solar noon or so. And that just depends on the eclipse, the ellipse of the orbit of the Earth. You can look into all that. Now, this is where it gets better. On September 9th, when this happens in 2017, is the beginning at evening time will be the beginning of this holiday called Eid al-Gahadir. I guess that's how you say it. Now, if you understand the Islamic calendar, they base their months off of the lunar cycle of the moon. They don't add leap months. They add nothing to correct it to the solar calendar of the sun and the orbit of the Earth around the sun. They strictly base it on the orbit of the moon around the Earth, the lunar cycle. So they'll end up, and since the lunar cycle isn't going to divide, you don't get exactly 12 lunar cycles in a year. And so they end up lagging off of that calendar. And so sometimes you'll get these holidays in the winter, or you'll get them in the same holiday can be in the summer and in the winter. You could have, like for us, it'd be like having Christmas and near the 4th of July, 4th of July in December. You know, it goes, that doesn't sound right, but anyway, so that's what's happening, is they're running through, these holidays go through all the year. They change. And to get them they don't happen exactly on the same day of the month once they made a full continuation through the year, because the lunar calendar is based on 29.5 days, and so you get all kinds of days all over the place. It's not like it's always going to be September 9th every 10 years or something. No, it might be 100 years before September 9th again. I don't know. It's crazy. It's just all over the place as far as and not that it's crazy, but it's that it doesn't jive with the solar calendar at all. So the fact that this holiday happens on September 9th, when Jupiter is being born, when the sun is at solar noon, when the alignment happens over Istanbul, Turkey, okay, which is the capital of the Roman Empire and the Ottoman Empire, and then this holiday happens. What is this holiday? And remember, they're building that new mosque. It's at 666 feet above sea level. This is what this holiday is. It is when Muhammad named his successor. Okay, whoops. Eid al-Gadir is rarely on September 9th because the Islamic calendar is based on the phases of the moon, not the sun. Okay, so this is what it is. I don't speak, I'm not going to pronounce these words correctly, but I'll try. Eid al-Gadir is observed by Shia Muslims. It is a celebration of the appointment of Ali ibn Abi Talib by the Islamic prophet Muhammad as his successor. So Muhammad is naming his successor. The festival also marks the anniversary of Muhammad's sermon, as described in the Hadith of the Pond of Kuhum. Boy, if you're Muslim, I'm sorry, I'm badgering these words. In which Muhammad states, "Whomsoever is protector of me, Allah is also his or her protector. O God, love those who love him and be hostile to those who are hostile to them." So it is in Islam that if you don't convert, off with your head, you know? And so it is, in Revelation, there's a lot of people who get their heads chopped off by the Antichrist. I'm sorry if you're Muslim. I'll pray for you that this is probably it's very hard, you know, if you're Muslim and you're trying to make sense of all this stuff. There's a lot to go through, and it takes time for anyone for their mind to go through and come out the other end when you're having to change a belief system. It's very difficult. There's a lot that has to go on, and so anyway, but they're going to this holiday is about naming the successor to Muhammad. So if this is going to happen on the time of this alignment, and there's a new mosque being built that's almost finished. I think it's already been opened, but it isn't in its full glory yet. And that mosque is at 666 feet. And we find the 666 in the book of Revelation chapter 13. You know, here's wisdom, let him that have calculate the number of the beast, where it's a number of a man, 666. And then we have the Pan-Arab colors and all this coming together. The Pan-Arab colors were the colors of the four horsemen in the book of Revelation, and how they will unite. Okay, a new caliphate can unite many countries, the 10 horns, the 10 toes, and the iron mixed with clay. And we have a new development where we have this new thing coming out called Chrislam. So the colors of the nations are those colors. If you watch my other videos, you'll see what I'm talking about. Go back and watch those videos. They're boring as can be, but watch them, okay? You got to get through them. All right. All right. So that's not needed. The Pope has made some visits to Turkey. Here we got the Turkey's flag and the Vatican's flag put together. There's Erdogan and the Pope. This is in the Blue Mosque. And the Pope is in there praying with them. Pope Francis, the Quran and the Bible are the same. Here's the Quran. Here's the Pope kissing the Quran. He prays with Muslims here. Alright, so basically we have the Holy Roman Empire, the iron, mixing with the clay. They will not bind together. You can try it with the leaders, but the people I don't think are really going to bind together. I don't think Catholics and Muslims are really going to jive together. Catholics believe Jesus is the Son of God. Muslims believe he was a prophet. The new religion, though, is Chrislam. I don't think it's going to jive well. And so then you're going to go, if we get to Revelation, I think it is 18. Nope. Is it 19? Nope. 17? Yeah. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, and I will show you unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. And this is probably Islam, not Islam, the Catholic, the Vatican, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. And the Catholic Church has killed a lot of Christians. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet beast. Okay. Full of the names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Scarlet beast, that's red. What color is Istanbul, Turkey? It's red. Their flag is red. That could be that meaning. It has 7 heads and 10 horns. If it's going to have the caliphate there, it's going to run the caliphate. It might run the 10 horns of the 10 pan-Arab countries, pan-Arab colored countries. And the woman was arrayed in purple. I don't know which exactly countries it will be. It could be a combination of them. And the woman is arrayed in purple and scarlet color. Okay, if you look at the papacy, they wear those colors, red and purple all the time, and decked with gold. And they got gold everywhere in the Vatican, and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup, and in her hand full of the abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Okay, she's drunk on the blood of the saints. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. If you get into that, that's... I'm not going to get into that right now. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Why was he wondering? Because they're claiming to be Christians. And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which have the 7 heads and the 10 horns. And the beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. I don't have that necessarily figured out. I'm sure people out there do. And goeth into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was, is not, and yet is. So during the time of John, is this beast not around? But it used to be, and then it will be again. Is that what that's saying? I'm trying to think about that right here. Well, I'm sure people will have comments and will tell me all about it. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are the 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth, and there are 7 kings. Okay, so we know 5 are fallen. Egypt, Assyria, Babylon, Medes and Persians, Greeks. Now we go to the time of John. 1 is Roman, and the other is yet to come. That would be the Ottoman Empire. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. Okay? If the Ottoman Empire gets reborn here as a ruler over Israel, it's only going to last through the tribulation time. It's a short space. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. Now that may be Satan, I don't know, because he's was on earth, and I'm not going to go there. I don't know. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as of yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. So if the caliphate joins them all together, they receive the power. They're one with the beast for 1 hour during the tribulation period, or the great tribulation, 3.5 years or 7 years or whatever time it's going to be. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Why do they have one mind? Because they're all following his law. They shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And they are with him are called and chosen and faithful. So that's representing the Christians there. And he saith unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. So the whore is over all these nations. You have the popes over all these nations. It's similar to the caliphate. It's going to be that way too. The caliph. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Wait a second. The 10 horns, the pan-Arab countries. If those are the pan-Arab countries that are underneath the caliphate, they're going to hate the whore. Why? Because they're Muslim versus Catholic. And they shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. That might be something that's going on in the book of Joel with the thermonuclear war. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe they'll blow each other up somehow. Okay, so sounds like they're going to take out the Vatican. For God hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. If you learn about the New World Order, a lot of people think that the orders come from the Vatican to the rest of the New World Order. Okay, so if that's actually true, well, then that might be fulfilled here. And Rome, the city on 7 hills, as well as Istanbul, Turkey, is a city on 7 hills. So, and Rome and Istanbul, Turkey, when it was Constantinople, are both capitals of Rome, as well as Istanbul, Turkey. So there you go with that. Let's go on down and see what else we got here. So this is a demographics of Islam in the area. I'll blow that up just so you can look at that slide. It's really good. Maybe you can find out who made that, so you can go find it. Middle East religion statistics. Okay, source. Go here. HTTP thegulfblog.com tag Sunni Shia Middle East map. That way you can get in and really. So go right in here, find this link, and then you'll be able to get all those details. Alrighty, and just got some pictures of Istanbul, Turkey here at night. You can see that this hill is in the middle of Istanbul, Turkey. Truly is in the middle of Istanbul, Turkey, where they're building that new mosque. Okay, right in the middle of the metropolitan area. Okay, and these are old graphics I did. Oh, I never even got into Charleston, South Carolina at all. Oh my goodness. And the computer just blew up. What is it doing now? Are we still recording? Yes, looks like we're still recording. Alright, so, okay, I forgot to mention. When this alignment is happening with Istanbul, Turkey and Egypt, it's also happening with Charleston, South Carolina. And what just happened to be prior on August 21st, 2017, is we had a solar eclipse, not a lunar one, a solar one. This is where it makes the sun go dark. Okay? And that solar eclipse goes across the United States and exits Charleston, South Carolina. It happens on August 21st, 2017, which is just before September 9th, 2017, and September 23rd, 2017. Okay. So maybe I got some graphics on that. We'll see. I'll have to go into that. There's a whole other story with that one. All right, there's the big red line where it lines these up with this alignment. We got Turkey's a red flag. Old graphics here. Same old thing. I gotta clean this up. Too much work. Just explain it. The Ottoman Empire, Turkey crest, the same. Okay, so anyways, alright. What's interesting about this eclipse is you have two different types of shadows. You have the fuzzy shadow. You have the umbra shadow and the penumbra shadow. I guess that's how you say that. Anywhere within this circle here, the sun is partially eclipsed. But to get the entire sun blocked out, you have to be along this white line. This yellow line here. So when the total blackout of the sun, okay, the black shadow, where the sun is completely blacked out, is going to move across this yellow line. When it makes landfall in Oregon, the penumbra shadow is in Charleston, South Carolina. The geometry there is remarkable. It doesn't work like that usually. it's so skewered and going all over the place. I mean, it works like that, but to get it to on one coast of the U.S. and the other coast of the U.S. at the same time, where the centered line of the eclipse will go, is very remarkable. No, it's not at New York. No, it's not at Maine. It is kind of in Florida, but it's not at the tip of Florida. No, it's right where the center line of the main eclipse goes along the yellow line and the penumbra shadow boundary. So right there, that's very unique. Okay, when it makes landfall here, oops, wrong way. My mouse doesn't work very well, so I gotta use these little controls here. Come on. Alright. Okay, these are other eclipses that happen later. This one is in 2024. This one I think is in 52, and I just have them up here for some other reasons. I'm not even going to get into that. There's an eyeball down here that matches up with the Helix Nebula. If you watch my other videos, you might learn about that. Okay. When it makes contact here with this shadow, the umbra shadow makes contact with Oregon. It first makes contact. Let's just go look, so you can see what it's doing. All right. What we got in here? This is Lincoln City right here. This is Lincoln Beach. So Lincoln City, it seems to be this whole area. I don't know. I mean, this is actually Lincoln City, but we have a different beach name here. We have a Lincoln Beach here. I think let's see which one drops off first here. Whoops, if I pull up. Okay, that stays named as Lincoln City, so I think that's the main city. And so I kind of go like this. I say Lincoln City, Lincoln Beach, right here. And this happens to be Lincoln County, by the way. And the first road this thing crosses is this road right here called Lincoln Avenue. You see the blue line comes across there? Boom. There it is, Lincoln Avenue. That is Lincoln Avenue, and that's the first road that's crossed. So we basically have 4 Lincolns there, and then we have Highway 101. Okay, so now that's Lincoln Beach, Lincoln, California. I mean, not Lincoln, I'm tired. Lincoln Beach, Lincoln City, Lincoln County, and the first row is Lincoln Avenue. Now when this eclipse goes over another place called Lincoln, Nebraska, you can see there's Lincoln, Nebraska up here. The vast majority of the city is in the dark umbra shadow of the eclipse. There's like a little bit that might be on the fuzzy zone and not get the shadow. But the main part of the city is in Lincoln, Nebraska, is in the eclipse. Okay, this is Interstate 80 going right through here. This, put my roads on? You can't see it yet. This is Highway 77 going up here. Why would, come on, the computer's just slow. Very slow. Alright, well you just have to believe me. Okay, there, see it's 77, Highway 77. There goes Highway 77 up there. Watch what happens here. I got very particular about this line. Let's zoom in. That's a long time ago I did this. Hopefully they haven't made any updates or changes, but okay. So from right here and I kept it centered pretty well, I believe. How did I do that? I might have other lines that I drew. I did an X across the screen because if you move this screen a little bit, it can change its relationship to other things here in these high lines. And what I came up with is I hit a point here. Well, let's start at the other end here first. So sorry. Okay, this line here from Interstate, you see, I'm so sorry, their yellow line is not the right spot, or they've updated the, well, no, see, it's still on Interstate 80. The yellow line, their yellow line and where the actual road is are moving around. And I don't see my red line here now. Googler drops it. But I did my darndest to make sure I was getting exactly right numbers. I spent a long time doing these lines. Okay, this line here, wrong line. Let's try again. Come on, give me the line. Don't give me the umber shadow. I don't want the umber shadow. And it's keep giving me the umber shadow. Come on. No, give me something else. Oh. I'm going to pause this for you.